Hello, today's Ascension Day, and this isn't a talk really, it's a talk about a talk. I'm sorry that the church generally doesn't give much time to the ascension of Jesus, because it's no less important than Christmas or Easter or Pentecost. It's just somehow, it seems like Ascension hasn't caught the imagination of the church in the way these other festivals have, and I still think that it ought to. I keep hoping, I keep praying that we as a church will wake up to the wonder of the story of Ascension Day. Because Ascension Day, and I can't list them all, but let me list a few today. Ascension Day reminds us that all authority on earth and in heaven was given to Jesus. It's a powerful word that I plan to say more about that on Sunday, but all authority is given to Jesus. So our whole world, our whole universe exists at his command. So the sun rose this morning, and Ascension Day is the day that tells us who made it rise. Pick anything. The daisy emerges from the ground. It's Ascension Day that tells us who made it rise. It's an amazing day. Ascension Day also reminds us that Jesus is coming back. We're told that he will return as he left. And there's a part of the church that thinks that at the end of it all, we will just all get raptured and then all taken up into heaven. But Ascension Day is the promise. It says it in the Bible. It says that this is the day that reminds us that Jesus will return as he left. He will create, when he returns, he will create a new heaven and a new earth. And mind-blowingly, this day promises us that we will rule and reign with him even as he reigns, this Lord of all. So Ascension Day promises us that God isn't finished with us yet, that his work is not done. So when life gets really hard, Ascension Day is a wonderful promise that God has still got work to do, and he calls us to share with that work, in that work with him. So all authority belongs to Jesus, and God's not finished with us yet. The third thing that Ascension Day promises us is that God will pour his Spirit out upon all people. So Ascension Day happens 40 days after Easter, and Pentecost happens 50 days after Easter. And so Ascension Day is kind of the warning, it's the promise, it's the anticipation for the pouring out of the Spirit. Jesus said, it's good that I go away, because when I go away, I can send the Spirit. And so we wait. Ascension Day is this wonderful promise to go, we wait for the pouring out of God's Spirit. And when God's Spirit comes upon us, we get to live the kind of life that Jesus lived. We are empowered to live in the way that Jesus lived. So we get to live in the presence and the power of God because of the promises made to us on Ascension Day. So it's a remarkable day, and that's just the superficial skirting of what Ascension Day means. And on Sunday, as I said, I'm going to speak a little more about what Ascension means, about how we can live in the freedom and the promises of Ascension Day. And I really hope you'll join us on Sunday for that. But I want to close today with a small invitation. With our postings today, there will be a YouTube link to a lecture given by the Reverend Professor Peter Story, who was one of my mentors when I was just 21 years old. But he's remained a key influence in my life, someone I've deeply admired. And at the Methodist Seminary in Pietermaritzburg, Peter was invited to give a lecture, in fact named in his honor, but to give the lecture this year. And his word is such a timely word for the church. And although it's not an Ascension Day talk, although it's not an Ascension Day lecture, I think the content of his word is the kind of word that the church needs to hear in the light of Ascension Day. So I made this video largely to try to persuade you to watch Peter's lecture. So please won't you, when you finish listening to this, the lecture's about 35 minutes, so when you've got some time, set aside some time, put your headphones in or watch it on your TV, but take a moment and pray before you listen. Just ask the Lord to help us understand that we who are the followers of Jesus, in the light of Ascension Day, what is the Spirit saying to his church? Thanks for joining us, and may God bless you on this Ascension Day.